Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Another gun seized in Mountain View. After the seizure of a handgun at Burgers Gully, Mountain View in Kingston Eastern Division on Tuesday, October 4, detectives made another seizure, this time at Cleveland Road in the division. Reports from the Elliston Town Police are that about 7 p.m., lawmen conducted an intelligence-led operation in the area, during which a house was searched. One illegal firearm, a Uzi submachine gun, was found wrapped in a piece of cloth in a room of the house. No one was arrested in relation to the seizure. The investigation continues. Political hopeful pleas for new bridge after near-death tragedy. Karen Carty, council caretaker for the Frankfield Division, is appealing to Clarendon Northwestern Member of Parliament Philip Henriquez to do something about the two bridges that were washed away in the 2017 flood rains. The plea come on the heels of a woman and a child being swept away but were miraculously saved last Thursday while crossing the Raging Ramina River in Southwood during heavy rains. We are appealing to the current MP to do something before something do us. Leave a trademark in Northwest Clarendon. You have been here for 2 years. If it is even one major project, carry it out, she urged. Carter, who said that she has been living in the community for about 42 years, complained that it is very frustrating being on the road and having to rush home whenever it threatens to rain in order to cross the river. Time after time when the rain comes down, we have to sit for long hours before the river is drawn. It is very frustrating when you have to carry your clothes in your hand and put on your clothes at riverside and all them something there, she complained. However, Henrique said that since taking over in the late 2020, he has been representing like crazy. Pointing out that the bridge was washed away while Richard Azan was the MP, he said he immediately began advocating for a new bridge for the community after winning the election. I have had countless meetings with the Minister, Everett Warmington, and National Works Agency about the state of the bridge, he said. Henriquez also disclosed that he had had several meetings over the past 6 months with residents, including Carty, regarding the bridge. He insists that almost every week he had been making representation on the issue. This year, Mr. Warmington came into Parliament in his budget speech and said that he would be making it priority, he told reporters. He noted that the allocation of funds for the project is out of his hands. This is not an issue about me not representing. I have been representing like crazy, he said. Council for the Frankfield Division, Clive Mundy, who emphasized that the residents' plight is also calling for the matter to be addressed. Referring to the situation as a disgrace, he said it doesn't matter which government is in power, because at the end of the day, the people of Southwood, that's where they live, they don't have any choice. They have to get home and they have to come out to do their business and have to go back home. That's the only way they can use to go home, he said. It's from 2017, so it's 5 years now, and it don't matter which government in power, you must can put up a bridge, even a walk-foot bridge, in a 5 years, he added. The bridge serves 4 communities, Campbell Hill, Dam Head, Thorpe Hall Pass, and Top and Bottom Southwood. St. Mary Loader man held with stolen car freed. A St. Mary Loader man who was held last year driving a stolen motor car in St. Catherine has been freed of larceny-related charges. LaShawn Davis, 25, was found not guilty of receiving stolen property following a trial last Thursday in the St. Mary Parish Court. The trial judge, in upholding a no-case submission by attorney-at-law John Jacobs, agreed that the prosecution had not proven that his client had knowledge that the car was stolen. The judge also accepted Davison's defense, which he had indicated from the outset that he was paid to drive the car. Davison was arrested on December 21, 2021, after he was reportedly chased and caught by the police while driving a stolen Toyota Succeed motor car along the Mandela Highway. But the court heard that when he was informed of being in possession of a stolen motor car, he pointed to a truck that was traveling in front of him. He further told 2 cops that the truck driver had paid him $10,000 to drive the car from St. Mary to Kingston. The truck was pursued, and the driver, Michael Adair, was arrested and charged, while his passenger was released. Adair was, however, freed of charges of simple larceny and receiving stolen property after his lawyer successfully argued that it was the passenger who was connected to the stolen car. Attorney-at-law Courtney Rowe also appeared for Davison. Business leaders calls for more resources to police in Manchester. President of the Manchester Chamber of Commerce Simone Spence Johnson is calling for more resources to be given to police in this South Central parish, even as there is a drastic increase in serious crimes here. We are appealing to the government to ensure that the police get the tools and equipment, including vehicles, that they need to do the job. We will support in whichever way we can as a community and work with the police, she told reporters on Tuesday. Last month, head of the Manchester Police Superintendent Shane McCullough told business leaders that less than half of the police units assigned at the time to the parish were functional. Currently, our fleet on book is 44, but active in terms of what we can deploy right now is 20, McCullough said at a meeting of Manchester Chamber of Commerce. Reliable sources told reporters that some police units have to be parked when it rains as their air conditioner on those vehicles need repair. Last week, the Minister of National Security announced that 50 more vehicles and bikes were handed over to the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Spence Johnson said more resources are needed in Manchester. It is a concern that the resources needed are not there, but I know it is tight across the board. For us to have effective policing, we have to have the equipment and the necessary tools that the police need, she said. Statistics from the police show that up to October 1, Manchester has recorded 44 murders since the start of the year when compared to 19 for the corresponding period last year. The statistics also show Manchester top in the country's robbery and break-ins category. Manchester has recorded 86 robberies since the start of the year when compared to 67 for the corresponding period last year. Manchester recorded a slight reduction in break-ins with 135 cases since the start of the year compared to 138 for the corresponding period last year. The local chamber president, while concerned about the space of crimes, is optimistic that strategies being used by the police will bring positive results. It is an issue of concern for us because we are citizens in this parish and whatever happens here is going to affect us. We are just hoping that the new strategies that the police are putting in place can help to capture the criminals, she said. She pointed to the reviving of the neighborhood watches in Manchester as a good move. The neighborhood watches are trying to pitch in and do what they can in coming together and bringing their neighbors' people. Look at what is happening. Look at who are the new people coming into the community. The same thing for businesses. We look out for the people who are beside us in and around the plazas, said Spence Johnson. She added that security services are in high demand in Manchester. There are a lot of security companies that are out there now. They have been hired a lot because there is a need for staff. Persons have been calling for more protection if they are having an event or if their business place is having a function in the night, so they have been really adamant about that and looking for the necessary services out there, she said. National Security Ministry to undertake public education campaign on new firearm law. The Ministry of National Security is to begin the rollout of public education campaign around the proposed new firearm law as a matter of priority. The directive was issued at a meeting of the National Security Council (NSC) last Thursday, which was chaired by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. A statement from the Office of the Prime Minister (OPM) indicated that the monthly meeting discussed the public education campaign and gun amnesty that is to accompany the legislation. It was pointed out that the amnesty will follow and run concurrently with a period of intense public education on the provision of the new firearm law and will give persons in possession of illegal firearms the opportunity to surrender these weapons to the state without jeopardy of prosecution. It was agreed that the amnesty will not be for an extended period, and the OPM said the Security Council also reviewed progress on other pieces of the legislation to strengthen overall law enforcement, including the Bail Act and the Enhanced Security Measures Act. Meanwhile, OPM said the council was informed that criminals have captured sections of the Bernard Lodge property in St. Catherine. The body reported it expressed grave concern and directed that strong action to be taken to halt the illegal capture and squatting in the area. It was indicated that the security forces have increased their presence in the area. In the meantime, OPM said the Commissioner of Police, Major General Anthony Anderson, highlighted the Operation Relentless 2 initiative, which was recently launched by the Jamaica Constabulary Force (JCF) in partnership with the Jamaica Defense Force. The initiative targets gangs and gangsters involved in violent crimes and the illicit gun trade. Focus will also be given to the associated lottery scamming and narcotics activity that found these guns. Anderson also updated the council on the JCF's rollout of the Station Records Management System in St. Andrew Central, Kingston Eastern, St. Andrew South Division, as well as 5 police stations. The system will facilitate the electronic record of reports, complaints, and administrative entries by the police. The NSC was also briefed on operational updates from the Jamaica Defense Force, Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency, and the Jamaica Customs Agency on efforts underway in their respective portfolios for the protection and security of the country. OPM said ONS reiterated its strong commitment to supporting the security forces, the legislative and policy tools, along with the requisite fiscal resources to make Jamaica a safe and secure country. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell